Family can be a complicated thing. For 6 years I'd been silently supporting my parents, sending them $10,000 every month through an anonymous account. They thought it was some kind of miraculous pension payout. If only they knew it was coming from the daughter they constantly belittled. Emily, we need to talk about Dad's 60th birthday party. My sister Amanda's voice crackled through the phone. Her tone already told me this wasn't going to be a pleasant conversation. What about it? I asked, looking out my office window at the Seattle skyline. My company, Horizon Technologies, had just moved into the top floors of one of the city's most prestigious buildings. Not that my family knew that to them, I was still the failure who'd quit her stable job to pursue entrepreneurship. Well, Amanda dragged out the word, the way she always did when she was about to say something particularly nasty. Mom and I were talking and we think it's best if you don't come. I gripped my phone tighter, my knuckles turning white. Excuse me. Look, it's going to be a really sophisticated event. Marcus is flying in from New York. You remember my husband's friend Marcus? The investment banker? And Caroline's bringing her new boyfriend, he's a neurosurgeon. And I'd embarrass you? I finished for her, my voice ice cold. Don't be dramatic, Emily. It's just, well, what would you even wear? The last time you came to a family event, you showed up in that awful department store dress. And you're always going on about your business. It's uncomfortable. That awful department store dress had been a custom Versace, but of course they wouldn't know that. Just like they didn't know that the business they mocked was now worth over $300 million. I see, I said quietly. Dad? Does he not want me there either? Amanda sighed dramatically. He agrees it's for the best. You know how important his image is, especially now that he's on the city council. We can't have you there talking about your little website company or whatever it is you do. My little website company had just secured a government contract worth millions, but I bit my tongue. 4 years I'd kept my success quiet, helping them from the shadows while enduring their constant criticism. Besides, Amanda continued, warming to her topic, it's not like you could contribute anything to the party. Mom's planning something really special, top caterers, live band, the works. It's going to cost a fortune. I almost laughed at that. The fortune they were spending on Dad's party was coming from my monthly deposits. Every luxury they'd enjoyed over the past 6 years. The new cars, the vacations, the renovations to their house, all paid for by the daughter they were now uninviting. You know what, Amanda? I opened my laptop, logging into my banking portal. You're right. I shouldn't come to the party. I'm glad you're being reasonable for once, she said, the smugness evident in her voice. Oh, and Emily, try not to feel too bad about it. Maybe by next year you'll have your life together. I looked at the pending transfer of $10,000 scheduled for tomorrow. With a few clicks I canceled it. Then for good measure I canceled all future automatic payments. Don't worry about me, Amanda. I have a feeling things are about to change for everyone. What's that supposed to mean? Enjoy the party. I hung up before she could respond. My assistant Rachel knocked on my office door. Ms. Mitchell? The board members are ready for the quarterly meeting. Thanks, Rachel. Oh, and could you do me a favor? Remember that anonymous account we've been using for my family's deposits? She nodded, pulling out her tablet. The one you set up after your company's first major success? $10,000 monthly to your parents, plus covering their property taxes and insurance. Cancel everything. And get me the exact total of how much I've sent them over the years. Every penny. Rachel's fingers flew over her tablet. Including the house renovation last year and the car we bought your father for Christmas? At my nod she did some quick calculations. Just over $720,000. I leaned back in my chair thinking about every dismissive comment, every mocking remark, every time they'd made me feel small while literally living off my success. One more thing, I said, an idea forming. The Mitchell Foundation, we're doing that charity gala next month, right? Yes, the annual fundraiser for tech education. It's our biggest event of the year. I smiled, remembering how Amanda had emphasized what a sophisticated event Dad's birthday party would be. Send invitations to my entire family. But not under my name, make them think they're being invited as city council connections. Let's give them a real sophisticated event. Rachel grinned, catching on. The one where you're giving the keynote speech as founder and CEO? Exactly. And Rachel? Make sure their table has a perfect view of the stage. As I walked into the board meeting, my phone buzzed with a text from my mother. Don't make a scene about not being invited to the party. It's really better this way. Maybe use this as motivation to finally make something of yourself. I put my phone on silent, thinking about how next month's gala would change everything. The invitations would arrive tomorrow, elegant black and gold cards requesting the honor of their presence at the Mitchell Foundation's annual Technology Innovation Gala, hosted by Horizon Technologies. They had no idea that the little website company they mocked was actually Horizon Technologies, one of the fastest-growing tech firms in the country. They didn't know that their struggling daughter was about to be featured in Forbes. And they certainly didn't know that the $10,000 monthly deposits they'd come to depend on were about to stop. Ms. Mitchell. Rachel appeared at my side. Your parents' bank notification just went through. They'll see the cancelled transfer first thing tomorrow morning. I nodded, imagining the panic that would ensue. Perfect timing. Right before they have to pay for Dad's extravagant birthday party. Are you sure about this? Rachel asked softly. It's a lot of money to cut off suddenly. They're going to learn a valuable lesson, I said, straightening my jacket. Success isn't always what it seems, and kindness shouldn't be mistaken for weakness. I walked into the board meeting with my head held high, knowing that tomorrow would bring chaos. But sometimes chaos is necessary for people to finally open their eyes. The board members rose as I entered, CEOs, investors, and industry leaders who respected me for my achievements, not despite them. In here, I wasn't the embarrassing daughter who needed to be uninvited from family functions. I was Emily Mitchell, the innovator who'd built a tech empire from scratch. Shall we begin? I asked, taking my seat at the head of the table. Tomorrow would bring screaming phone calls and panicked texts. But for now, I had a company to run. The chaos started exactly as I predicted. At 9:03 a.m. the next morning, my mother's name flashed across my phone screen. I declined the call, focusing instead on the emails from my executive team. By 9:45, I had 17 missed calls and a flood of increasingly panicked text messages. Emily, something's wrong with Dad's pension payment. Call us immediately. This is serious, we have bills to pay. Your father's birthday party deposits are due today. Amanda's texts were particularly frantic. Mom's hysterical. The money isn't there. They're going to have to cancel everything. I muted my phone and turned to the floor-to-ceiling windows of my office. Below, Seattle hummed with morning activity. My assistant Rachel appeared with my usual morning coffee. Your mother's on line 3, she said. She's called the office 12 times in the last hour. Let her keep calling, I replied, taking the coffee. How are the gala preparations coming along? Rachel smiled, pulling up the details on her tablet. The invitations were delivered this morning by private courier. Your family's table is perfectly positioned. They'll have an unobstructed view when you take the stage as CEO. My phone buzzed again. This time it was my father. Emily, this is serious. Your mother is beside herself. We need you to check on something with the bank. It's about the monthly deposits. I texted back. Sorry, can't help. Too busy with my little website company. Good luck with the party. Then I turned my phone off completely. Let them panic for a while. The next few days were a symphony of chaos. My parents had already put down deposits for Dad's lavish birthday celebration, counting on money that would no longer arrive. Amanda had apparently bragged to all their friends about the live band and gourmet catering. Now they were frantically trying to figure out how to pay for it all. Ms. Mitchell. Rachel appeared in my doorway. Your sister Amanda is in the lobby. She's quite insistent about seeing you. I raised an eyebrow. Really? She actually came to my embarrassing office. She doesn't know it's your office, Rachel clarified. She thinks this is just the building where you rent a small workspace. Security told her you're not in today. I pulled up the lobby security feed on my computer. There was Amanda, designer handbag on her arm, looking distinctly uncomfortable as she argued with the security guard. She kept gesturing at the building directory, probably pointing to the small co-working space on the 3rd floor where I'd once rented a desk years ago. Let her keep thinking that, I said. But make sure someone gets a photo of her face when she opens the gala invitation. It should be arriving at her house today. Later that afternoon, I received an email from the family group chat. Mom had forwarded the gala invitation to everyone. We've been invited to a prestigious tech event. The Mitchell Foundation's annual Technology Innovation Gala. Must be because of your father's position on the city council. Black tie, very exclusive. Finally, we'll be among the right kind of people. Amanda replied immediately. I looked it up, it's the biggest tech event of the year. All the major CEOs attend. This is exactly the kind of sophisticated evening we wanted for Dad's birthday. Maybe we can combine the events. I couldn't help but laugh. They had no idea they were walking right into my plan. The next 2 weeks were a blur of preparations, both for the gala and for the revelation that would come with it. My parents tried to reach me every day, growing increasingly desperate about the missing money. Dad even showed up at my old apartment, not knowing I'd moved into the penthouse above my company's offices years ago. The day before the gala, Amanda sent me a smug text. We solved the money problem for Dad's party. Got invited to this amazing tech gala instead. Not that you'd know anything about that kind of event. Much more elegant than what we originally planned. Try not to feel bad about missing it. I forwarded the message to Rachel, who'd been with me since the early days of Horizon Technologies. She replied with a laughing emoji, and if they only knew. The evening of the gala arrived crisp and clear. From my office, I watched the city lights begin to twinkle as the sun set. Rachel helped me into my gown, a stunning custom piece that cost more than my parents' car. Your family just arrived, she reported, checking her tablet. They're being seated now. Your mother's already bragging to everyone at their table about your father's city council position. I took a deep breath, checking my reflection one last time. And the presentation? Ready to go. When you take the stage, the screens will show your Forbes cover and the company's growth charts. The official announcement of our government contract will be the final slide. I smiled, thinking of all the times my family had dismissed my work. Perfect. When Rachel, make sure the photographer captures their faces when my name is announced. The ballroom was magnificent. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over the gathered crowd, tech industry leaders, investors and innovators from around the world. Near the stage at the best table in the house sat my family. Mom was preening in her new dress, Dad was trying to network with nearby executives, and Amanda was practically bouncing with excitement. I watched from the wings as the evening's program began. First came the welcome speeches, then the awards presentations. My family applauded politely, completely unaware that they were about to become the center of attention. Finally, the MC stepped up to the podium. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker. The founder and CEO of Horizon Technologies, the visionary behind the Mitchell Foundation, the woman Forbes magazine recently called Tech's Next Rising Star, Emily Mitchell. The silence at my family's table was absolute. I strode onto the stage, my heels clicking against the polished floor. The screens behind me lit up with my Forbes cover, along with Horizon's impressive growth charts. Good evening, I began, my voice carrying clearly through the ballroom. Some of you know me as the founder of Horizon Technologies. Others know me as the CEO who just secured a $100 million government contract. But to some people in this room, I paused, looking directly at my family's table. I'm just the disappointing daughter who runs a little website company. Mom's champagne glass slipped from her fingers, spilling across the white tablecloth. Dad's face had gone completely pale. And Amanda looked like she might faint. 4 years I've kept my success quiet, choosing to help my family anonymously while they continued to belittle my choices. Those monthly deposits you depended on, Mom and Dad? The mysterious pension that paid for your cars, your vacations, your renovations? That was me. The ballroom had gone completely silent. Every eye was now on my family's table. Last week, my sister told me I wasn't welcome at my father's birthday party. It wouldn't be sophisticated enough for me to attend. So instead I thought I'd invite them to my party. I smiled at the crowd. Welcome to the Mitchell Foundation Gala, where we raise millions for tech education and innovation, funded entirely by that little website company you were all so ashamed of. I continued my speech, outlining Horizon's achievements and our plans for the future. But I kept glancing at my family's table, watching as the full weight of their mistake crashed down on them. When I finished, the applause was thunderous. As I stepped down from the stage, I saw my mother rise from her seat, probably planning to intercept me. But I had one more surprise in store. Oh, and Mom. I said into the microphone. About those monthly deposits. I've decided to stop enabling your bad behavior. Consider this a lesson in humility, and good luck with Dad's birthday party. I walked off stage to even louder applause, leaving my family sitting in stunned silence at their table. Rachel met me in the wings with a tablet displaying their bank account, now showing a balance that wouldn't cover even half of their planned party expenses. Your mother's trying to reach you, she said, holding up my phone. 27 missed calls in the last 5 minutes. I took the phone, scrolled through the messages and smiled. Let them wait. I think it's time they learned what it feels like to be the ones not welcome at the party. As I mingled with actual tech industry leaders, people who respected me for my achievements rather than my family connections, I could see my parents and Amanda huddled in deep discussion. Their faces shifted between anger, embarrassment, and desperation. Should we have security remove them? Rachel asked quietly. I shook my head. No, let them stay. Sometimes the best revenge is making people watch as you succeed without them. The gala continued late into the night. I gave interviews,